guys could just introduce yourself, please. That would be awesome.
Hi, I'm Alex and this is Steve. We're doing The Importance of Being Earnest. This is sort of set in the late 1800s, early 1900s in Victorian England. I'm Ernest, or / Jack in the play, and this is Algernon in the play. We're at his apartment. This is the opening scene. This is the opening scene of the play, so there's no really prior knowledge you need to know going into this.
Great.
So I guess that's it for that. And
Awesome. Let's see it. Love this play.
Ready?
Yep.
Ernest, what brings you into town?
Oh, pleasure, pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algie.
I believe it's customary in good society to have some slight refreshment at 5 o'clock. Where have you been since last Thursday?
In the country.
What on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are those people you amuse?
Neighbors, neighbors.
Got nice neighbors in your part of Shropshire?
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
How immensely you must amuse them. By the way, Shropshire is your county, is it not?
Shropshire? Yes, of course. Hello. Why all these cups? Why cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance in one so young? Who is coming to tea?
Merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolyn.
How perfectly delightful.
Well, I'm not sure how Aunt Augusta's gonna like you being here.
May I ask why?
My dear fellow, the way you flirt with Gwendolyn is perfectly disgraceful. It's almost as bad as the way she flirts with you.
I am in love with Gwendolyn. I have come up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you said you came for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
I really don't see anything romantic in a definite proposal. One may be accepted, and it usually is. Then it's all over. I think the very essence of romance is uncertainty. If I ever get married, I'll try to forget that fact.
I have no doubt about that, dear Algie. The divorce court was especially made for those people whose memories are so curiously constituted.
Oh, there is no speculating on that subject. Divorces are made in... Please don't touch the cucumber sandwiches. Those are made specifically for Aunt Augusta.
But you have been eating them all the time.
Well, that's different. She's my aunt. Have some bread and butter. It's for Gwendolyn, and she loves both bread and butter.
And very good bread and butter it is.
Well, you need not eat as if you're going to eat it all. You behave as if you were married to Gwendolyn, and you're not. And I doubt you ever will be.
May I ask, why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, girls never marry the men they flirt with. They just don't think it right.
No, that is nonsense.
No, it's not. It's true. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees all over the place. Besides, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my first cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, you're going to have to clear up the whole issue of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algie, by Cecily? I don't know anyone of the name of Cecily. Do you mean to say you have my cigarette case all this time? I wish to goodness you would let me know. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you offered me one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
Well, there's no use in offering a large reward now that the thing is found.
I think that's rather mean of you, Ernest. And now that I look at the inscription, I find that it isn't even yours.
Of course it's mine. You've seen me with it 100 times, and you have no right whatsoever to read what is written inside. It is a very ungentlemanly thing to read on private cigarette case.
Don't you dare tell me what I should and shouldn't read. Half of modern culture depends on what we shouldn't read.
I am quite aware of that fact, and I don't propose to discuss modern culture. It isn't the sort of thing one should talk of in private. I simply want my cigarette case.
Yes, but this isn't your cigarette case. This is a gift from someone by the name of Cecily, whom you claim to not know.
Well, if you must know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes, charming old lady too, lives in Country Wells. Just give it back to me, Algie.
Well, why does she call herself Little Cecily if she is your aunt and lives in Tunbridge Wells?
My good fellow, what on earth is there in that? Some ants are tall, some ants are not tall. Surely there must be a match, or an ant may be allowed to decide for herself. Surely you must think that every ant is exactly like your ant. That is absurd. For heaven's sake, give me back my cigarette case.
Well, why does she call you her uncle? There's no objection, I admit, for an ant being a small ant. But why an ant, regardless of her size, should call you her uncle? I can't quite make out. Besides, your name isn't even Jack, it's Ernest.
It isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
You've always told me it was Ernest. I've introduced you as Ernest. You're the most earnest-looking person I've ever met in my entire life. It's on your cards. Here's one of them. Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, The Albany. I'll keep this as proof that your name is Ernest if you ever try to deny it again.
Well, my name is Earnest in town and Jack in the country, and the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that doesn't account for the fact that your aunt calls you her uncle. Come on, boy, let's have it out at once.
My dear fellow, you talk exactly as if you're a dentist. It's a very vulgar thing to talk like a dentist when one isn't a dentist. It produces a false impression.
Well, that's precisely what dentists do. So let's hear the whole story. And I should mention I've always been suspicious of you being a secret and confirmed Bunburyist, and now I'm quite sure of it.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by a Bunburyist?
I'll tell you what I mean by that as soon as you tell me why you're Jack in the country and Ernest in town.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now produce to me your explanation and make sure it's improbable. That's it.
Scene. Nice job.